What's cracking, everybody, and welcome to episode 93 of the Good Kraken podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ernell Pearson, alongside the 5-star man, a.k.a. the indigenous treat, a.k.a. the inevitable one, Devin Stanford. What's happening, baby?
Did you see that?
Did I see what? Oh, god damn it. I can't wait to talk about that one later. That's going to be fucking good. We were dying last night, dude. Oh, this is so much fun. Devin, how have you been since our last episode?
I'm good. A lot of Cyberpunk. We saw Uncharted last night, which we're going to be talking about later.
Okay.
And
we sure did.
And a busy work week.
Busy work week. You have been, dude. You've been suffering, my guy. Like, we both have, dude. Like, I just started like my new job, my training and stuff for that. And like, after not working for a month and a half and having COVID and being tired and having a hurt ankle and just like not really being used to like that, it's been a hard transition. Like, I've been waking up just barely on time to make it on time. So I'm like rushing in the fucking morning because I'm used to falling asleep at fucking 4 o'clock in the morning, and now I'm trying to have to like switch.
You're pretty much getting on the same schedule as me now.
Basically, yeah, maybe just like half an hour later. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah, that makes sense. The other lovely that you guys are seeing down there is the queen of bitchin' herself, Jenesy. Gabrielle, how are you, my love?
I am mood stabilized and thriving. How are you?
I love you so much. I love you so much. Yeah, that's a good way to intro yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm good, Jenesy. What's new since the last time that we had you on?
Well, oh fuck, what's new? I'm just out here still planning the wedding. Hanging out, working my little bum off, hanging out with my future wife and my dog. I got a new, you guys are going to believe this because it's so out of character for me, but I got a new organizational system for my desk. So isn't it adorable?
Okay. I like
yeah.
it.
So
yes.
I have a weekly planner.
Okay.
I have a daily like spread. It's not just a to-do list. Like it's a whole look at this fucking bad boy. It's sexy as shit. And I have a monthly spread that is in the same print. It's in the same pattern as my daily spread. So I'm all the fuck set up. I have like a few little things of like cute flowers on my desk this week. I'm really living my best life out here.
You really are, dude. You're out here. Listen, we love a good monthly spread. You know what I'm saying?
We really do.
Did you see that?
No. See,
I want to. I'm trying to see all the things. Let's go, Devin. What's your monthly spread, baby? You know
I know you don't have a monthly spread. So what are you spreading?
What are we getting that Deventine's Day firefighter calendar? When are we getting that?
Yeah, I pre-ordered, but it's what?
You pre-ordered? I didn't get any purchases.
Yeah, there's no invoices or anything.
It's I mean, think of it as like you know, a GoFundMe. Once it reaches a certain limit, then I'll have the funds to be able to pay for the production.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good business model. Good business model.
I was told that we were going to be doing a GK calendar, but I still haven't gotten my call yet. So I don't know.
I mean, we will be, but we have to see the success of Devin. Because listen, Deventine's Day calendar, the yearly calendar, the firefighter edition of Deventine's Day, the 5-star man. We'll call it the 5-star calendar. We have to see the success of that because that's we have to ride on the back of Devin. You know what I'm saying? We have to ride on the back of Devin because like if no one wants to see Devin looking like a snack in a firefighter outfit, they certainly don't want to see me looking like a snack in a Captain America outfit. You know what I'm saying? Like a fat, like thick Captain America.
I thought we were going full Captain Hook. I'm a bit confused.
Surreal.
I was made promises.
My phone knows it, and now it autofills when I start typing Deventine's Day.
I hate that, dude. I think hold on. Let's try it. I think my phone might actually auto-populate as well.
Let me see.
Let me take a look here.
Oh, that is so precious.
Times. Yeah. God damn it.
Does it?
Yeah, it does. It does. God damn it. I texted it too many times. God damn it.
Let me
Surreal.
see.
You are a real one, Jesse. Yeah. Go ahead. See. Let's see it.
Oh my god, I have you beat. Not only does it auto-populate Deventine's, but it does it in all caps. So
Oh my God! All caps.
yourself in the
Valentine's
group
Day.
chat, baby.
I love that. And
Since
hate
everybody
it.
hates Valentine's Day, I'm taking it over.
Yes, exactly. But nobody hates the Good Kraken Show because this is the Good Kraken Podcast. Your choice, all the nerdy video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you want to hear. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturday at 12 p.m. If you're riding this wave, you can head on over to patreon.com/Good Kraken Show, where you can submit questions and topics to the show, get exclusive post-show content, and have early access to episodes before they go live across podcast and video services across the digital sea. Give it to me, Devin. That's the best yar you have for us. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go, baby. But if you've emptied your pockets for the latest and greatest in entertainment, that is totally fine. You can watch us record this show live right here at twitch.tv/Good Kraken Show. Woo! If you're watching live, you have a very important job. You can head on over to fact check in the official Good Kraken Discord channel, which will go ahead and drop that right there in chat for you guys, where you can keep us humble and correct when we screw up information during the show. If you have Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime. We would love for you to give that to us to help keep us pushing content out for all of you listening or watching at home. But you can also support us by going to our YouTube channel, by clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there. Jenesy!
yeah.
We have some captain's orders. We've got a lot of really, really cool stuff that we're planning, that we're talking about, that we're doing, that we're getting ready for. The only one that we can talk to you guys about right now is March, Jenesy 24th, I believe it was.
I want to say that's wrong, so let me look at our beautiful
Okay, all right,
calendar.
let's take a look. Let's take a look. Peaky Blinders in the house. Eska with the nut button. I love you, Eska. I love you guys so much. I always keep you humble. You certainly do.
Oh, no, you're totally fucking right. It is the 24th.
Okay, perfect. March 24th. March 24th is the official 1 year anniversary of One Good Kraken. And because of such, we are going to be doing a live town hall on that day. And what that is we will be... Oh, Esco did hydrate. We have to drink. Yes, thank you, Esco. So a live town hall, we will be actually just going, instead of doing our recording for Shipwreck Show, that night we'll be going live right here, twitch.tv/Good Kraken Show. We will be talking to you guys about reflecting on the past year. We're going to be talking about the next year that we have planned out, things that we're going to be doing in the near future, and everything sort of in between that, just talking generally about GK as a company, as content creators, and that'll be a chance for you guys to ask us questions live on Twitch. Give us any recommendations that you guys have for content, things that you want to see, things you don't want to see. You can come in here, interact with us as content creators rather than just about the news or like the goofy, ridiculous shit that we give to you guys, every single fucking day. God damn. I hate myself. So with that said, Devin, what do we got next, my boy?
Yo, we got Little Waves.
Let's go.
All right.
Devin, what is Little Waves?
So we got some nice little itty bitty news pieces for y'all that we wanted to share with you before we get into our bigger stories today. So first up, we got the Halo TV series has already been renewed for a second season. At the Viacom CBS Investor Day presentation, Paramount Plus announced that Halo, a live-action series based on the video game franchise, has been renewed for a second season before the first season premieres on March 24th, also known as GK Day. What's up?
Hey, let's go.
In addition, David Weiner, Brave New World, will join the second season as showrunner and executive producer, taking over from Stephen K. Kyle Gillen. Both showrunners were expected to depart after the first season. Man, we're immature.
You are.
I laughed because you
Fucking
laughed,
wieners.
and I was like, I fucking hate that this is actually funny.
That's really his name.
Honestly,
That's really his name.
David Wiener.
Sorry, David.
I'm
At
almost
least your
fucking
name
adult
isn't
here.
Richard as well.
Dick Wiener. Dick Wiener would be incredible. Double the dick. Wiener. Double the wiener. Let's
Dick
go.
Wiener.
I really thought you guys were laughing at Brave New World because of the context of what Brave New World is.
No.
But like the book. It's not talking about the book, is it? What is it talking about? What is this Brave New World?
Brave New World? Well, Brave New World is just a different show. Just a different
I have
show.
no idea, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I really don't know. It's just in the story.
It's in parentheses because he's... No. Brave New World, I believe, is a new show. Let's fact check real quick.
Yeah, but he's a showrunner of that show, and he's a showrunner for Halo.
Yeah, it's a show based on a book. That's why we're having this conversation right now.
So it is based on the book Brave New World.
Yeah, it's a show based on the book. But yeah, he's just the I think the director of the show.
It says he's just one of the showrunners.
Yeah. But having him involved with this is pretty fucking dope. Now, Devin, what I want to ask you so we can stay on the fucking topic here and it's not talking about dick wieners.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, like, is this tight? Like, they haven't even presented the first season yet.
This means that they have a lot of faith in it, honestly. If they already renewed it for a second season, it probably means the second season is already in production. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see like another rollout of Halo immediately within the next 8 to 12 months after this show finishes. You know,
I can't stop thinking about Dick Wiener.
Fucking hell.
Are you 9 years old?
Yeah.
I mean, like, let's be real here. I mean, Esco and Chad's like, Jenesy is done with y'all. She always is. She really is.
But, you know,
I love them with my whole entire heart, but I don't know how I'm the youngest one here, and I'm not the youngest one here.
That's fair.
That's
Esco also says, "Excuse me, I like the cheetah print on the chair." There you go, Esco.
Thank you.
There you go, Esco. Devin, keep it pushing. Let's go, baby.
Yeah. So, anyways, super cool that I have faith in the Halo show. So I'm pretty excited to see what this all means. Obviously, it's going to be set up for a sequel right away at the end of the series. So, other cool TV news: Knuckles spin-off series announced. Deadline reports that a third Sonic the Hedgehog movie is already in development. Not only that, but a Knuckles spin-off series is in the works for Paramount Plus, with Idris Elba set to return in the lead role. Yo,
I'm fucking down, honestly. Like sign me the fuck up, dude. This is like.
Didn't we just vote that like Sonic is arguably the best video game movie?
You guys did. I didn't.
Yeah, I'm saying as GK, we we
as a group we said that like Sonic is definitely like up there for best video game movie for sure. It's just like I'm really surprised by we have two announcements here for Paramount, and like there's more. Like there's more stuff that they're doing. Like they're announcing bigger partnership with South Park. That was bigger partnership with SpongeBob. Like there's all sorts of shit happening with Paramount now. And we were talking about this before, where it's like Paramount's gonna start making moves because they have to, right? They have to compete with these other streaming platforms. Like
they are. And like we were talking about this like not too long ago. There is a lot of video game to movie and or TV show content coming now. Like, I think there's like over 30 productions in the works right now, some of which have release windows already.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to see that. And I feel like all these streaming services too are realizing that's going to be the next comic book thing. And you see them all like snatching it up, just like how everybody was snatching up rights to like Marvel heroes and DC heroes back in the day before they were making universes, you know, like Universal got Hulk, Fox got X-Men, and Sony got Spider-Man, you know what I mean? All that stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're seeing that same thing happen with video game franchises now.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, Sonic specifically, I think that was really fucking cool. Jenesy, does this do anything for you?
No.
You should watch the movie. It's good.
Have you watched Sonic yet? I know we were on your ass about it a little while ago.
Yeah, you were, and my ass is fine. It doesn't feel like it's upped on, so.
Jenesy,
that movie's a solid 8 out of 10. Just so you know,
it really is. It's a good movie.
I don't like disbelieve you.
It's better than Uncharted.
We're gonna get into that. Okay, we'll get into that.
It doesn't say a whole lot. But like, also, like, I had a reason to watch Uncharted, and that reason is Tom Holland. You know what I mean? Whereas, like,
sure.
Sonic, I don't know
Jim
that
Carrey.
I would. That's a reason for me not to watch it. I don't like Jim Carrey.
Oh, okay.
I strongly dislike Jim Carrey, actually.
Okay. You're wrong, but that's okay.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine.
Jenesy's gonna fucking stab you in your sleep, dog. Like,
It's fine.
Me too. Yeah, she'll stab me in my sleep too. It's okay.
I mean, my partner already does it, so
stab either of you in your sleep. I'm too nice.
Yeah.
You say that now.
I'll just like gaslight you in my dreams, you know.
There you go. That's fair.
It.
That's fair.
That's it.
So you're gonna embody the spirit of Ernell. I get it.
Listen, I'm trying to retire. I digress. Devin, keep it pushing.
Peacemaker season 2 officially confirmed as finale approaches.
Yeah, you heard it.
I love that tone. I love that tone so much. James Gunn will write and direct all of the episodes in season 2, with John Cena set to reprise the role of Christopher Smith. HBO heralded the show's social media presence, announcing that it's the #1 new original streaming series for social engagement on Twitter. Not bad, given that Peacemaker ran concurrently with a new Star Wars show as well.
Yeah. The show's really good, dude. The show's really fucking good. I'm really hype about the show. I do still have to watch the finale. I'm going to be watching that tonight.
Same.
But I'm really excited for us to talk about it on Tuesday. And this show has just been like a light in my life for the past couple of months, and like I've been keeping up with it. And every week I'm like, it can't get funnier, right? Like it can't get better than the last episode that I watched, and it always does. It always does, dude.
Honestly. James Gunn and John Cena, their chemistry together, like through his like direction and John Cena's like character, fucking perfect. I love it so good. Like
Jenesy, you have to watch it. You have to watch it. You know what I'm saying?
It's so good.
I have to watch the Suicide Squad, and then I have to watch that. Honestly, there's so much that I have to watch. I'm so behind.
The arc that Peacemaker goes through.
You're gonna love
Suicide Squad to the end of the show is insane.
Yeah,
honestly,
you're really gonna enjoy like some of the things that they do in this, because they talk about a lot of like deep shit in a really goofy, fucked up kind of way, and then they make it fucked up, and then they make it like heartfelt, and then it's fucked up again. Like it's pretty good balance.
And I will say this: Peacemaker is a fucking piece of shit. And you gotta power through it because it gets insane.
He's a piece of shit as like setting up for character development. So it's like there's a reason for him to be a piece of shit, and they like utilize that in the story. Just I cannot wait for you to watch it, because you're gonna come in here, you're gonna be freaking out about how much fun this was. Okay, you're gonna really enjoy it. Anyways,
I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
More video game stuff. Well, video game to TV. The Last of Us HBO series won't premiere until at least 2023. During an interview with Deadline, HBO Chief Content Officer Casey Bloys, sorry.
Blows, hold up. Devin had a Freudian slip there for a second.
Said that the upcoming TV adaptation of The Last of Us won't appear until at least 2023. Quote, "It's not going to air in 2022, he revealed." Very elaborate quote.
There's a follow-up. Continue.
They're still shooting in Canada, and I imagine you will see it in 23. What, sometimes like
very deep quote there, bro.
The same thing like 4 times. And this is what I realized, that like our generation are writing these articles now.
I try to editorialize a little bit when it comes to these ones, because I don't like just taking like journalist content. So I do editorialize a little bit, but sometimes I miss something and I'm like, damn it. and then it's always something Devin sees and he's like, why would they say that again? I'm like, no, it's because I fucking forgot to editorialize that part, right? Like,
because I don't know how to fucking write.
Like they are saying it again, but like it's because I like missed that one line that I was supposed to edit, so that it wasn't them saying it again. So we're reading it, like, yeah. Anyways, Last of Us HBO series, please take your fucking time because we need this show to be as fucking good as possible.
I'm really excited for this show, especially with the casting too. It's just, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Another great TV show. This is some great little waves today, by the way. Stranger Things Season 4 release date revealed. Netflix has announced that Stranger Things Season 4 will premiere on May 27th. However, this fourth season is almost twice as long as the previous seasons, and so will be split into 2 volumes, with the second batch of episodes being released 5 weeks later on July 1st. The news announced on Netflix website comes accompanied by a letter from the Duffer Brothers, the creators of the show, as well as explaining that this fourth season has a runtime of almost double the previous seasons. The creative duo also revealed that Stranger Things will conclude with its 5th season. You did it again. You did it again. You did it again.
He's just out here doing his best. Be
I know.
nice.
I just
Children, be nice.
Wait, did I? Did I? We'll do 2 volumes with the second batch of episodes being released 5 weeks. That's not quite the same. That's not quite the same. Saying that the show's going to be twice as long and split into 2 volumes is not the same thing as saying that the runtime.
No. Here. However, this 4th season is almost twice as long as previous seasons, as well as explaining that this 4th season has a runtime of almost double the previous seasons.
I love how this little
I'll take that
writing. Jesus Christ.
Man, when we get bigger, I'm gonna have to be GK editor.
Listen, I was doing this at fucking 1 o'clock in the fucking morning last night. All right, I don't want to.
Jenesy, you and I can tackle it. We can tackle it together because I'm gonna have.
I'm a fucking writer too. This son of a bitch is over
here. I'm gonna have
to
review Ernell's writing.
Oh my god. Whatever, Dick Wiener.
Nice cock.
You know what?
It smells like gaslight in here.
I hate it. I hate it.
Surreal.
What I'm confused now.
I love how we haven't even talked about the story.
Surreal. It's because when I do these notes, okay, when I set up our fucking show notes, I have to editorialize some things for Little Waves so that things aren't repeating. And I was doing this at fucking 1:30 in the morning last night, and I accidentally forgot 2 fucking editorializations, okay? As if I'm a fucking writer at Fanbyte. Go fuck yourself, Devin. Okay? I'm a novelist, not a journalist, all right? God damn it. Anyways, Stranger Things, Season 4, twice as long, and a very last 5th season. Jenesy, go. Are you hype?
I'm hyped. I'm so fucking hyped. I always come to things late, and I just started watching Stranger Things after the 4th season dropped.
Okay.
Or actually, like after that, like I think I didn't get into it until like 2020, 2021, somewhere around there. So it's very recent that I like got into it, and it wasn't that I thought I wasn't gonna like most things that like take me forever to watch. I know I'm gonna like them.
Okay.
It's a timing thing. We've talked about this before. I'm very weird about the timing of when I watch shows.
Okay,
and
fair enough.
I'm really glad that I waited as long as I did to watch Stranger Things because there was never a fear that like me watching it didn't fuck up their ratings. You know what I mean? Me not watching it. Like I was never worried that Stranger Things wasn't going to get enough viewership to like keep making seasons. So I came to it, and then I just had to wait for one more fucking season, and I'm just chilling, and I'm so pumped. I'm so excited that they're doing it in 2 parts. I think that's my biggest thing about Netflix's conclusion to shows sometimes is that they don't always provide the necessary time because they're so worried about like finishing it in 3 or 4 seasons, and they want it to be only like 8 or 10 episodes, and it's like, honey, you make your own rules. Yeah, you can make your own fucking rules. Like, you are the boss. You can make more episodes. You know what I mean?
You are the boss. You the hoe. Like, just own it.
You are in charge. Yeah, and so they're finally, like, taking control of their reality, I feel like, with Stranger Things. And they're actually... I hope this is a decent amount of episodes. I hope it feels like enough. You know what I mean?
I mean, chat, if you guys can and you want to go hit us up on Discord and fact check in there, and you want to let us know how many episodes are each season for Stranger Things, please let us know. That'd be awesome to know. Because I feel like if they're just gonna double up on how long the seasons are, I think that's a pretty good amount. I think that's really, really solid. The big question here, though, is that is season 5 going to be just as long, or are they doubling up season 4 because they're trying to lead up to a big ramp that's going to happen in season 5?
Probably that.
That was also, I was kind of confused. Maybe you guys have some clarity for this. So they said that they were doing 5 seasons, and I got that. But then they also said season 4 was the end. So is it just like these characters aren't going to be in season 5, or what's happening?
No, so season 5 is the end. They were originally planning for season 4 to be the end, but they're doing a 5th season, and to set up season 5 being the finishing season, they're going to make season 4 twice as long as they were originally planning to set that up. And now my question is, are they going to do the same thing, doubling up season 5 to have some big bombacious ending? Or are they going to limit season 5 and use season 4 as the longer season to ramp up to what happens in season 5? I think it's that, honestly, myself. But
now, did you get caught up, Jenesy? Did you watch all of it?
All the Stranger Things? Yeah.
Yeah. So
good show.
My thing is in season 3, they introduced other people that also had powers like 11.
Yes,
so it's like
they did. Yes,
I think that's why season 4 is going to be so long, is because it's going to elaborate on those, and we're probably going to get some past tense episodes too on those characters to really learn them. Maybe that's just what I think.
Also, are we allowed to say spoilers from season 3, or is that?
Oh yeah, I think it's been out for like 3 years.
Enough. Yeah, it's been long enough.
So also with that, 11 lost her powers at the end of season 3? Question mark. So I think that we're gonna have at least the first part of season 4, like that first drop, where she's like doesn't have her powers. I think there's gonna be a really like solid amount of time where we're fucking with that. You know, like she doesn't have her powers, and she has an identity crisis, and it's gonna be a mess. I think it's gonna be great.
We do love to fuck with that. We do love to fuck with that. Yeah,
we love an identity crisis.
Yep.
I love
Harper is in another dimension now.
Yes.
We love him too. We love him.
Daddy
too.
Harper. We love him.
I know. He's great in Black Widow.
Yeah.
He is actually. He really is. He really is.
That's actually the alternate dimension.
I need to see Red Guardian come back. But anyways,
I heard Jar Jar Binks is going to be in the show too. It's crazy.
Oh, that's cute. Nintendo Switch finally gets a Crunchyroll app, but still no Netflix. Nintendo Switch owners will be able to stream content on the Crunchyroll app offline on the hybrid console, thanks to Epic Games' Unreal Engine tech. Crunchyroll is the latest to join the Nintendo Switch's limited library of streaming and video content apps, following the release of Pokemon TV, in addition to services like Funimation, Hulu, and YouTube, but still no Netflix. Now, I'd be more excited about this, but I have, as somebody who watches a lot of anime, I finally tried to just use Crunchyroll instead of like Hulu and HBO and Netflix, right?
Yeah.
The Crunchyroll UI and interface is fucking dog shit.
So what is a Crunchyroll? What is
so Crunchyroll? It's an anime streaming app.
Yeah. So Netflix, but for anime.
But for anime. Yeah. Okay, sick.
But for a genre that is so popular, that genre specific gets, apps like Funimation and Crunchyroll. They don't even do like next episode, or anything like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't even and like instead of like letting you just pick the season and it just resuming there, when you go back, it'll be like English, Portuguese, Denmark, blah blah blah. It'll have like all of them, and you have to like go through and scroll to find your episode and everything, and like the app crashes all the time. The website has a hard time registering like consoles and stuff. It's just like I'm stoked that it's coming out more places, but goddamn, fix your fucking app.
I mean, the thing is too, though, is that like Crunchyroll, like they've never come off as the kind of like company / app that is trying to do any more than just like what it's already doing. And like they make a good amount of money. They aren't making Netflix money. So it's like obviously there's going to be an argument of whether or not they can afford to upgrade their UI, or if they even want to upgrade their UI, considering that they have enough people on their platform that like they don't even have to worry about it. You know,
it's easier to watch Crunchyroll on HBO Max than it is to watch Crunchyroll through Crunchyroll, because Crunchyroll has its own channel on HBO Max.
But also HBO Max's UI kind of fucking sucks too. So like,
it's better than Crunchyroll's though.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and all the Crunchyroll content is also on Hulu, so it's easier to watch. That's what I do now. I just watch their content through Hulu and HBO Max.
Yeah.
I don't also even use their app anymore.
Even though Netflix is not on Switch, I heard Watto from episode 1 Star Wars is in there. You know what I'm saying? He makes a cameo in the Switch. That is his face. You tried to take my
Ernell, why don't you tell him what we have next?
Well, Devin, I'm sorry that you don't think I'm funny when I'm actually kind of funny, okay?
I don't.
No, you're funny, but not all the time. You just laugh at your own jokes.
Jar Jar Binks would have been better, huh? He would have been better, too. Yeah, no, I get it. Devin, we are going into the Helm.
Can Jenesy read?
Do you want to read this one?
Jenesy wants to read.
Okay, go for it. Go ahead.
I love
do the
showing
thing.
the people that I learned how to read.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Alrighty. Endgame is the final Avengers movie, says Marvel boss Ryan Leston from IGN. The Marvel Cinematic Universe may have already seen its last Avengers movie. During the most recent episode of Marvel Studios Assembled, Marvel boss Kevin Feige explained that Avengers Endgame is the final Avengers movie. Marvel Studios and the Marvel Cinematic Universe is now past their 10th anniversary, he explains. And with the release of the final Avengers movie, we finally completed a 22-movie Infinity Saga. Of course, the Avengers weren't in great shape when we last saw them. By the end of Endgame, we lost both Iron Man and Black Widow, while the Hulk was severely injured in an attempt to undo Thanos' snap. Even Captain America has left his old life as a superhero behind. And while the unsnapping...
Love it.
That's a word.
I like it.
Did bring back some Marvel favorites such as Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. It left the team feeling leaderless and without its heavy hitters. Does that mean the Avengers are done? Not likely. Instead, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Doctor Strange step up to lead the ragtag band of Avengers in the wake of the team's losses. After all, the upcoming Marvel movie, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, does seem to connect to a lot of different Marvel properties, and the former Sorcerer Supreme could well end up rallying the troops. Whether or not they stand together as the Avengers is another matter entirely. After all, the comic book versions of our favorite superheroes often shift allegiances across several superhero teams. Not to mention, Marvel may choose to focus on team-ups across solo films rather than big event movies such as the Avengers. Avengers Infinity War was the culmination of the Infinity Saga, which began back in 2008 with Iron Man, bringing together every superhero across the MCU to take on Thanos and his forces. It was the climactic epic battle we had all hoped for, and it brought us many fan-pleasing moments. Ooh, I love that phrase. What's next for the MCU? We'll have to wait and see. But with the upcoming Doctor Strange sequel about to tear open the multiverse, the possibilities are almost endless.
So, there's a lot of very purposeful word thingies happening here, right? So, like, I'm not talking about the unsnapping, because that is fucking the raddest thing that they could have said about that.
Fan pleasing.
Yeah. That's fucking rad. I love that. So much. But more specifically, stuff with Kevin Feige here, talking, him saying like this is gonna be the final Avengers movie. Is very like give and take, right? Because it's like it could be the final The Avengers movie. It will not be the final movie where all the Avengers are together. And I think a lot of that, of him saying that, is because, and this is just me, I can stand corrected if someone comes into this correct. to me, it comes off as he's saying that purposely to say that like we're not going to see the Avengers together in the same way that we did before, where because of their ramping up to Secret Wars, they're actually going to be fighting each other. So it's not going to be. We're going to be getting a lot more Civil War style content, and I think that's a part of why, like reflecting back on it now, where Civil War was a Captain America movie rather than an Avengers movie. Now I think that was kind of purposeful. Like in that direction where they're like, we can't call it an Avengers movie because they're not actually the Avengers in this. They're like separated, you know?
I don't think it's gonna be like it's gonna be like around the word Avengers. The only Avengers I think we're really gonna see moving forward is going to be the young Avengers. I think that's the Avengers that we're gonna end up getting.
Yeah.
And instead of having like that main Avengers team, we're going to have things like maybe the Illuminati, maybe the Midnight Suns, the Fantastic Four, Guardians of the Galaxy, the other teams. You know what I mean? So they're building it up to be multiple teams because that makes more sense for Secret Wars.
And then when they do finally get to Secret War, it'll just be called Avengers. The Secret War or something like that.
Yeah.
Like
it might even have a tag that says Avengers Secret War. And that's it.
That's what I'm saying is I don't think they're going to even call it Avengers because it's not going to be an Avengers movie. Like, because they're not together. They're fighting each other. And there's a bunch of other stuff happening. So I think like the concept was like what we've seen as an Avengers movie is no longer existent because for the rest of Avengers history, we're not going to see them fighting together in the same way that we saw them in Endgame. And Infinity War, like because now there's relationships that are pointing in a different direction, and I think this isn't so much them saying we're never going to see these Avengers characters together in the same way again. I think it's just saying literally the Avengers as a movie title will not be used anymore because there's no reason for it to be as such. You know what I mean? Jenesy, what is your take on this?
I agree. I think that what this is saying and that the wording is absolutely intentional is that I agree that it is totally, we're going to see a little bit different than what Ernell's saying. I think that we are going to see something similar to what we know an Avengers movie to be like, but it is not going to be called an Avengers movie. I'm totally on board with the Young Avengers with Devin. I think that is going to be like our future. Our future, like Avengers, is going to be the Young Avengers. I'm pumped for Secret Wars. I think that's going to be super fucking fun. And I also do think that like the novelty of like an Avengers movie is kind of what they're trying to remove. And that like, I mean, we just saw Spider-Man that had so many other prominent characters in it. So many things were happening in it. We're seeing Doctor Strange is going to have so many prominent Marvel characters in it, and I think that's becoming more typical, that we're gonna have just like this clusterfuck of superheroes in each movie. They're becoming more involved in each other's lives, I think, is what we're really seeing. So it's gonna be more and more typical for them to just kind of all be in the next movie.
And don't forget too, we also have the setup for Dark Avengers as well.
I mean, kind of
with like U.S. Agent, Zemo, Abomination.
Well, that's
Black Widow.
That's not quite because Dark Avengers is different than the Thunderbolts. That's
all right. Like, Thunderbolts. That's what I meant. Thanks for
the.
But like we have that set up.
I don't think that's going to be much of a. I don't think that's going to be much of a focus, though. You know what I mean? Like they'll have it. Obviously,
they're going to be a part of it.
Yeah, I think they might be setting that up for like a future phase. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I believe the Thunderbolts are going to be part of Captain America 4.
Yeah, that would make sense. I can
see that. I mean, like Thunderbolt Ross being Red Hulk and like his relationship directly with Helm at Zemo. Like I can see that. I think that's a good prediction. Yeah. I mean, obviously we're still kind of watching this from the outside. We have no information on this, right? Because like
speculation. Complete speculation here, just so everybody knows.
Okay.
What if
good show
we see some sort of in Captain America 4? Obviously, we know Bucky's going to be there because Bucky and Sam are
Yeah, sure.
I need to rewatch that show. Such a good fucking show.
young patriot who is a super soldier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that is a possibility because they already set that up in you know, Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV show.
Okay.
And since there'd be a Thunderbolt Ross involved with the Thunderbolts, what if we also get either Bruce Banner or She-Hulk?
I mean, they're
well.
doing a She-Hulk show, so it would make sense that they do it that way.
And Abomination's going to be in it, Bruce Banner, you know, so, and
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, like,
not only that, Daredevil's rumored to be in it too. So,
what if
what if
Spider-Man is in? Captain America 4.
That, I mean, maybe. I think next time we see Spider-Man though is going to be Fantastic Four. I'm pretty set on that.
Yeah,
I disagree.
Well, my thing here is that, like, and I've talked about this before, is like I'm at a point now where I'm like kind of over speculating because like because there's so much going on, right? It's like at this point anyone can say fucking anything and it could be right, and then we're just taking credit for being right about something that was going to be done in the first place. It's just like a lot of it's just so easy to grasp that apple off the tree now because they're just doing fucking everything. They're doing fucking everything now. You know what I mean? It's like, what?
Imagination is fun, okay?
No, I get that. But it's to the point now where it's like we're not even speculating because it's just going to happen. Like Marvel has given us just about everything we wanted at this point so far, and they're going to continue delivering on that as we continue on. And it's just like there's so much going on, my brain can't fucking handle the speculation anymore because I'm just like we're just talking in circles all the time about speculation. Like, oh, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? I'm like, yeah, they're going to fucking do it. Like it's like all of it. Yes, just give it. They're just gonna fucking give it all to us. And so like now it's like it's safe to say we'll see Spider-Man again. Duh. It's safe to say we're gonna get Young Avengers. Duh. It's safe to say that we're gonna get Thunderbolts. Duh. Like it's just like the way they're setting everything up. It's very, very obvious that they're doing things like we just saw the Illuminati in the fucking Doctor Strange trailer. Like, we just saw the Illuminati.
Nancy, just bringing up all the teams that could be involved with Secret Wars.
I know, but it's in the comics. It's nothing to predict. It's in the comics. Like,
I was gonna say,
but there are people who are just movie fans, though.
It's never. Yeah, I'm pretty much in that boat. Like, I'll look up stuff having to do with the comics so that I'm not like totally in the dark. But yeah, I'm mostly a movie fan for sure. But I will say it has never been as apparent to me right now, as it is right now, that why you aren't a Taylor Swift fan, because you just can't hang with all of the Easter eggs and the decoding and the just fun, like, speculative shit. Because I honestly, every time we fucking start talking about Marvel, there's this like Taylor Swift part of my brain that lights up. That's just like they're so fucking similar because they're always like, is a new album gonna drop? Like, I can't tell you, once a fucking month, Taylor Swift fans and Marvel fans are like, we're gonna get a surprise drop. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get that. And then they're just like, we're constantly gaslighting ourselves all the time. But I'm here for it. I won't stop.
Here's my thing, right? I have no issue getting into the whole like nitty gritty of like, oh my god, this would be really fucking cool if we did this, right? Because it's fun. It's a fun conversation to have. It's no longer fun when we're just predicting things that are just obviously going to happen, right? It's like saying like, oh, we're gonna get Deadpool in another Marvel movie. Cool. Like, that's great speculation.
Right,
like
what
it's a
Marvel movie?
Who cares? It'll happen. Like, it's like, I don't fucking care when it happens. It's gonna happen. Like, it's like when it comes, it comes. You know what I'm saying? Like, and listen, I know I'm being a bit of a fucking buzzkill, and I feel like an asshole for it. I get it, right?
Time, Dad.
You come.
Let's have fun.
You come to me and you start giving me something like, listen, I really think we're gonna get Silver Surfer because this thing happened here.
Ernell, this was directly in relation with the story about the Avengers, you negative ass little Nancy.
I'm not saying that it's not connected. I'm saying that we can't sit here and predict things that are obviously going to happen.
Yeah. Okay.
I suppose.
That's what I'm
talking
about. Like, it's just like,
I think Devin and I were getting specific enough.
We're gonna get Blade. That's gonna happen. I'm predicting that we're gonna get Blade at some point. even though Disney announced it in the fucking conference call.
You know what, Ernell? Negative Nancy.
Yeah.
Devin and I were having a good time. Thank you very much. We were
I'm
having
gonna
a lot
kick you out of the show again.
I'll block you on Twitter. Just watch. I already blocked you on Instagram. I'll block you on Twitter next. No, Devin's gonna beat me to the punch, isn't he? He's gonna fucking block me on Twitter.
I can just kick you out of the show.
No, don't do that. Don't do that, because then the frames are gonna
All
get
right.
messed up again. Okay, listen, I love you guys.
Everybody
I really,
calm
really
down.
do. It's just me. I'm feeling some kind of way about it, right? I'm exhausted.
like
I'm tired. I love Avengers. I love Marvel content. At this point, it's kind of like, oh God, guys, there's so much going on. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I just want to see it. I want to see it happen. Just make it happen. Okay.
Well, you'll see it when you see it.
I will.
You should try being a Harry Styles fan.
Well, I
Very
mean, like,
similar
think of
feeling.
it this way. Think of it this way, okay? Let me put this into framework for you, Jenesy, okay? Imagine
Oh, no.
if there was a Taylor Swift, Harry Styles, Tom Holland, fucking Bucky super group, okay?
Okay. I
And-
really am
and-
loving
and-
this. Okay.
And we know that Taylor Swift's gonna drop a solo album, but Taylor
Okay.
Swift's writing that solo album for Harry Styles, and Harry Styles may or may not have accidentally smooched Bucky backstage at some point, which would be amazing, by the way. And we hear about this, and then we start talking about, like, okay, well, what if Bucky's actually in love with Taylor Swift the entire time? And it's like, it just like then it's just like, okay, like, sure, there's a potential chance it'll happen. There's a potential chance that it's real. But, like, why are we talking about it? Just show me them smooching.
I don't think you understand the parts of the internet that I'm on, because change the fucking names, and that exact scenario is that here. Let me give it to you. Actually, Ernell, this is what's actually happening.
Okay.
Taylor Swift is re-releasing her albums. Some people think Speak Now is coming next. Some people think 1989 is coming next.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big theory that Harry Styles is going to be featured on 1989. It's like a whole fucking thing. So we're waiting for that. 1989 is also a big album where she was rumored to be dating Karlie Kloss, but was bearding with Harry Styles. And there are actual pictures of her kissing Karlie Kloss at parties, and people still want me to think that they weren't fucking dating. So you can't even throw out these fucking hypotheticals right now, because they're actually happening in my brain all the time.
Sure. And
I'm broken. I'm having a good time. So you can't beat me on this one. I'm sorry.
listen, my problem isn't the speculation itself. My problem is the speculation when it's obvious. That's my issue. So if Taylor Swift had a song that said, I'm going to put Harry Styles in the next album, check this out, and you guys were like, oh my God, Harry Styles might be in the next album. Are you fucking kidding me? Of course. She literally says it in the fucking song. It's like, it's easy for us to predict that Young Avengers is going to happen because there's been 3 Young Avengers in the content so far.
Well, it's funny because it wasn't said as a prediction. It was said as, we know the Young Avengers are coming. We know they're showing the Illuminati.
I know, but all the
possibilities
predictions that were coming with it, all the
Okay.
predictions coming with it,
And we were talking
just
about
insistent.
they're
It's
not
like-
being an Avengers anymore, but they're being separate teams.
Think of it this way,
So,
okay?
anyways,
I can
before we
predict.
move on
I can predict that
to
Galactus
our
is going to
next
happen.
segment.
I'll take credit for that. Let's go ahead and do that. Anyways,
Great time for an ad read, don't you think?
Yeah. Before we move on to our next segment, I want to remind everyone that you can support us on patreon.com/Good Kraken Show, where they can get early access on this episode before it goes public. They can write into the show and they can get this episode ad free. But if you're hearing this, they aren't on Patreon. So for now, here's a word from our sponsors.
Iron Man's going to die.
This piece of Good Kraken content is brought to you by Glide Mousepads. The world is changing, and the demand for PC gaming and work-from-home setups has never been as wild as it is right now. Having the best of the best in PC accessories only makes it easier to get your work done before you jump right back into the fray of the digital sea. And Glide knows exactly how to make it happen for you. Glide Mousepads is the future industry leader in mousepads, offering beautiful, smooth, and waterproof products made with eco-friendly materials and non-slip rubber in a variety of sizes that are guaranteed to help you get the next win. Is your battle rug just looking a little crusty? Is the mouse just not as smooth as it used to be? Or are you just looking to get rid of that ergonomic mouse pad your grandma got you for Christmas? Well, then I think we have the mouse pad for you. You can go to glidemousepads.com right now and use code Kraken for 15% off the Founders Edition mousepad in every size available. Again, that's code KRAKEN, Kraken, for 15% off any Founders Edition mousepads today. Our next sponsor is Rogue Energy. Late nights are pretty much commonplace for us content creators, and any of us here at GK can attest that sometimes you're just too damn tired to even think about how not to be tired anymore. Lucky for us, though, Rogue has figured out how to give us those late nights and even earlier mornings the supercharge we all need. Rogue Energy is a low-calorie, no-sugar energy formula that is the perfect alternative to sugar-filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Every formula Rogue Energy produces is designed with optimal levels of high-quality ingredients and no chalky textures. Being the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, Rogue Energy strives to improve that in-game performance of gamers, streamers, and content creators everywhere. Look, I love this stuff. I've got 2 tubs at home right now. Your boy is drinking on some caramel vanilla latte in the mornings and sipping on some mango pineapple throughout the day. And if you are wondering how you can get these 2 dope flavors, well, I'm gonna tell you. You can head over to rogueenergy.com and use code GKRAKEN for 10% off your purchase on any shaker or formula tub of your choosing. That is GKRAKEN for 10% off any shaker or formula tub of you'd like. And now, back to your regularly scheduled Good Kraken content.
What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back. Devin informed me as we were on our ad break that I'm wrong. So it's great. We're just transitioning over. He said it. He was like, "Hey, listen, you fucking."
I fucking can't.
No, he actually said that I'm stressing him out.
I think
Which
that
is fair.
was the consensus all around.
Which is
we're all
fair.
stressed.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
Which is totally fair. You know what I'm saying? Anyways,
Jenesy's anxious.
Devin, what do we got next for the people at home?
Hands on dick.
Wow, that was you did not even a segue. Yeah, we are going right into this.
I mean, I didn't have one. If I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not have
That's
one.
fair.
I was
That's
not
fair.
prepared.
That's fair. He wasn't prepared.
I was de-stressing myself.
He is prepared for Wolverine to come back because Charles Xavier was in the trailer. So
I mean, we all know it's gonna happen eventually.
Oh wow! I'm so
It's
glad.
crazy. It's
You
like I
guys are
talk about
catching
the
up.
teams they set up. You go
Devin,
on a completely different rant.
Hands on Deck is our segment where we talk a little bit about a game or a movie or show that we have been playing since our last episode. We try to pitch it to each other. We try to pitch it to you guys at home. Devin, let's do one each today, guys. One each today. Let's nail this out of the park. Devin, what have you been playing or watching?
I got like a 0.25 and then something else. So somehow I was able to download Elden Ring off of my pre-order this last Tuesday, and it wasn't supposed to be available for pre-download till the 22nd. And I got into the game very randomly.
Yeah. Okay.
Turns out I'm not the only person that happened to. And as far as I know, I think it just happened to people on Xbox platforms through like a little bug through the Xbox store. By the time I realized it, the game's already been downloaded on my console for, I don't know, like 5 days. So I opened it up and I was like, oh, it's loading. Oh, we got cutscenes. Oh, character creation. Booped out.
Yeah.
Immediately booped out.
Yeah.
And now when I try to open it, it just goes, "You're too early. Visit the game in the Microsoft store to see when it's available." But I have it downloaded on my console right now. So
I can just see Devin, like you preloaded it, it finished, it opened the game, and you saw that it opened the game, and you were like, "Oh, okay, I'll play it." You just like, is the Xbox gods behind you in a fucking silencer ready to take you out because you opened the game? I love that so much. I also love Xander so much for giving us a subscription. I love you, Xander. You don't have to do that because you're part of this team, but you do anyways, and that's wild. That is wild. Anyways, so you played Elden Ring for 15 minutes.
I wouldn't even say played. I started
You
know what I mean?
You watched Elden Ring for 15 minutes, sure.
It's gorgeous, guys. It's fucking pretty. It's really cool. I can't wait to play this game.
Cutscenes the other day, and they're
I cannot wait to play this game. But I just thought that was kind of a funny little bug that happened, so I wanted to share that with y'all.
Hell yeah.
That game's gonna be hype.
Anyways,
moving on to another game that was hyped up a lot that I waited 14 months to play, Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, you briefly talked about this on Saturday, but you've actually had more time to really dive into it. Now, what are your thoughts?
So, I have sunk my teeth into this game, and I can't stop playing it. I literally play it all the time now. It reminds me a lot of Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. Did you ever play that?
Obviously.
Deus Ex, yeah. Jenesy definitely has for sure. Yes, the most recent one.
Yeah. It reminds me a lot of that, but obviously a lot edgier.
Sure.
But the game is great now. I've only ran into literally one bug, and it was just some random ass NPC that was standing in a homeless tent with the tent halfway through their body. That's it. I'm not getting anything game breaking. I'm not having weapons disappear. Nothing. I've probably put about 6, maybe 7 hours into it.
Okay.
Since we talked about it last, and I played a little bit on one character, and I was kind of resuming a game save that I started back when the game first came out, but I was just fuck this, I'm gonna wait for the update. Well, I restarted the game, and I decided that I'm gonna be a corporate shill.
Ooh, you pick corpo? Okay.
Yeah. Instead of a street kid or nomad or anything, because the reason why I wanted to be corpo, I wanted my character to be a piece of shit, since you kind of have that those options, you know what I mean? I usually play the good guy / Paragon path in most games, and I decided in this one I'm just not doing that today.
Okay.
And it's great. The gameplay is really good. It's really smooth. The updated frame rates are really nice. So it's I'm playing it 4K fidelity at 60 frames per second, and it's unbelievably smooth now. The level of detail now in the game compared to when it first launched, since they did that next gen update, which I know you can say the graphics do look similar, but the texturing is way more deep.
The textures are definitely better, and that's more so the point that I was trying to make on Saturday is it does look different, because they do have even just seeing this clip right here, the textures look way better. Definitely the resolutions the resolution is better, and textures for skin and walls and stuff like that is definitely better too. My issue is that there was still some weird issues I was running into with things still kind of popping, still things like not buffering quick enough. This mirror scene, I was still having issues where if I turned on the mirror, my guy wouldn't pop up in it.
Yeah, and I'm not getting anything like that. And I think that, I hate to say it, that might just be an optimization difference between the hardware. You know what I mean? Because we do know there is a certain level of power advantage, but at the same time, Sony Studios are gods at manipulating their software to, i.e., create Horizon Forbidden West. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But for a third-party platform, I've heard a lot of developers say that it's easier to develop on Xbox versus PlayStation. Not saying can't be done, because that's obviously not the case, but that's what they've said before. So and CD Projekt Red is more geared towards the PC experience anyways. We already know that the superior version of Cyberpunk is on PC.
Yes.
And the Xbox is more like a PC. So that's probably the difference right there.
Sure. I mean, I don't know. Just keep in touch with me about any problems that you run into, because
absolutely.
I'm also not completely convinced too that you won't run into any more. You are still pretty early game. We'll see. Obviously, it's compared, the bugs that I'm still getting now is still minimal compared to what I was running into before, right? It was every minute before there was another bug, right? So it's
Yeah, and I know Digital Foundry just did a comparison video recently
Right.
for PS5, PC, Series X, and Series S. So I'm definitely gonna have to dive in and watch that comparison video here soon. And because let's be real, if they're gonna find if there's any differences between anything, they're gonna find it.
Right. Yeah, no, keep in touch. I want to hear more from you, like as time goes by. So
the gameplay is fun. Especially with the AI and NPC update that they did, and you actually get a level of wanted level if you go out and commit crimes. You know, like kill citizens, steal cars, stuff, Grand Theft Auto type shit. You know,
right.
But I find myself not even driving that much still, even though the driving is a lot better. Only because when I'm going from mission to mission, I find myself walking through the streets and finding those like random brawls between cops and other gangs and like picking a side to fight with, you know what I mean? Or like finding people getting robbed and helping them. And like there's a lot more of that like instance like stuff now, which is pretty cool.
Sure. That's fucking rad, dude. Xander chat says Jenesy, the true gamer, confirmed.
I am trying to respond to that right now, but the theme for the day is Jenesy's not logged into anything and doesn't know how to work a computer. So.
That is totally fine. We'll figure it out. Also, not gonna lie, Ernell, you look like a badass English taxi driver, like specifically in the Kingsman universe, but like with the Colin Farrell accent.
It's true.
I look like someone Garrick would hate. Bada bing, bada boom. You know what I'm saying? I look like
to say about Garrick, huh?
Nothing. Like I look like someone that would argue with Mark Wahlberg in a movie.
Me. I'd argue with Mark Wahlberg.
He's like, I found a transformer. I'm like, you shut up in my cab. And I was like, I'm walking
your
the
cab's
beat.
A transformer.
I'm walking the beat. I'm like, your cabbage, your muff cabbage. It's perfect. It's perfect. Jenesy.
Ninny muggin.
Jenesy, what have you been watching?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I have an answer actually. I have a full ass answer.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so I have been watching a show. It's a terrible show, but it's a great show and I'm absolutely obsessed with it.
Okay.
It's called, oh my god, Dollface. It's called Dollface. And
okay.
Yeah, it's a Hulu original and it is a trip. Hulu's the worst, but like this show's really fun. It's very fun. It is about a young woman played by Kat Dennings.
We love Kat Dennings here. First off, we do love us some Kat Dennings here.
Dude, this cast is so fucking fire. So it has Kat Dennings. Yes, it is Xander. Xander in the chat said, "Is that the Kat Dennings show?" Yeah, it fucking is. It has Kat Dennings. It has the actress from Pretty Little Liars that was in You.
First season?
First season. God,
I love her so much. Continue.
I love her too. But I can't remember her name right now. But it has her and it has fucking
Brenda Song is what Xander says.
Brenda Song. Yeah. So the cast is fire and it follows Kat Dennings like right off the bat. She gets broken up with her from her boyfriend of 5 years, and she kind of realizes that she was entirely sucked into her relationship and didn't have any friendships outside of her relationship, and so he ends their 5-year relationship and she doesn't have anything else, and so she reconnects with her friends from college, and the whole show is about like just female friendships and like them like connecting and being amazing. And it is one of few shows that for me like talks about like and shows like real life conflicts and issues in a way that's not boring. Like they don't like super dramatize it, where like a lot of times in TV shows I get fatigued because they're like it's just like problem after problem after problem that's like super huge, whereas this show is like they deal with like being jealous of their friends getting other friends, and they talk about like the friends being scared that if she gets into a relationship again, she won't talk to them for 5 years, and how that shows up in like unhealthy coping mechanisms. Now, the one thing that is not good about this show, and it is, I would give this show like a straight up 10 out of 10, amazing, one of the like best shows I've watched in a while, If it wasn't for the fucking cat lady.
The cat lady? That's
Ernell.
okay.
The cat lady. So they did a full-on like Cats live action where they have this woman who is like the body of a woman and has like an animated cat head.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
And she just shows up randomly to help Kat Dennings like process big things for no, like she's not tripping, she's not drunk all the time. Sometimes
Oh, that's the cat lady. That's the cat lady. What the fuck? What the fuck is that?
And I went into the show not knowing that there was a fucking cat lady, and they call her the cat lady, and she is actually a cat on the head of, on the body of a lady.
Yeah, she really is. She really was. Oh, Margot Robbie. Oh, this is Margot Robbie's show.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't
Oh,
know
okay. I heard
Sick.
about this show getting produced. I didn't realize it was out already. This is rad.
Season 2 just dropped.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Okay. Okay.
It's very good.
So first off, all the ladies in this looking like queens. First off, we need to make sure that needs to be mentioned because Kat Dennings is perfect. Brenda's song is perfect. We love two good bitches. You know what I'm saying? We love them. We love them so much. The production on this is like really good.
Yeah.
It's really good because it like feels like modern day sitcom, but like good. You know what I mean?
But good. Yeah, because it's hard for me to get truly roped into a sitcom and just like binge it and finish it. Ooh. But I finished this in like a night and a half. It is so good.
I had a pansexual. Sorry.
Devin,
does this tell you? Are you sold on this?
Yeah, I kind of want to watch this. I mean, it reminds me of a more ridiculous, like out there new girl kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has that like look to it.
Like
and
not
I
tone
did
deaf.
watch New Girl. You know, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm here. For this.
I could see me and Sierra like binging this. Honestly,
you absolutely should. And like that's the thing too of like what I was saying with it being like the problems that they're talking about are relatable, but not like sometimes I feel like when shows get too relatable, they get like. It gets not fun to watch because you're like, I have these problems on a daily basis. I don't want to watch a TV show about it. But I really think Dollface found the like perfect balance between like relatable themes in a show and being funny and kind of out here. And it's just a really good time.
Sure.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy is like Kat Dennings and Brenda Song are in two of my favorite celebrity relationships because Kat Dennings is engaged to Andrew WK and Brenda Song
God, I know.
is engaged to Macaulay Culkin.
Oh.
And it's true, they're having kids.
Did you know he should be a murderer? Did you know that? Like Macaulay Culkin.
He doesn't look like a crackhead anymore.
No, I don't mean
Oh
I don't mean
God.
like I don't mean IRL, but I mean like Home Alone. Macaulay Culkin, right? Like
yeah.
that, he was a fucking murderer in that movie, dog. Like, can you believe that shit? Like there is a show that I watched recently that was talking about like Macaulay Culkin in that movie. What is the Home Alone kid's name? What is the character's name?
I don't remember.
Home Alone
fucking
kid,
Richie
right?
Rich.
Let's just call him asshole. No, that's a different movie. Let's just call him asshole, right? It's like this fucking asshole kid. There's a scene in Home Alone where he drops a paint can on the fucking neck of like one of the dudes, right? And he's like, oh, and he has like a bruise all fucked up or whatever. This show, I think it might have been Mythbusters. It might have been some other show like it, but they did a thing where they tested out with like a dummy with like the skeleton inside or whatever. And they dropped a fucking paint can at the same height that they assumed that the house would have it. And this paint can made like nearly decapitated this fucking dummy, dude. Like, paint cannons are heavy as fuck. This kid should be a murderer. Like, this kid should be in jail. Why is Macaulay Culkin's character in Home Alone
should
not
he
in
though?
jail?
They were intruders.
Oh my gosh, he was in an episode of Dollface.
Oh, no way. That's actually kind of cute. That's kind of cute.
Apparently he played history buff.
Chat's blowing up about Kat Dennings. We love a good Kat Dennings content.
We love Kat Dennings.
Xander mentions Matthew Gray Gubler. Yes, King. Fucking beautiful ass man. Anyways.
I need a Marvel show that's just Jimmy Woo and Kat Dennings dealing with Marvel stuff, but X-Files style.
100% we need that. 100% we fucking need that.
Also, Shay Mitchell. Shay Mitchell is the actress who I couldn't think of her name, and we cannot like go forward in this conversation without saying fucking Shay Mitchell because I love her. She's
Shay
amazing.
Mitchell. Make sure. Oh, that one. Okay. It was not who I thought we were talking about. Okay. All right.
No, yeah. Shay fucking Mitchell.
It was other girl. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Let's get to know. Otherwise, I would have been thinking it was the what's her name? The first girl from the first season that he falls in love
the
with.
blonde chick.
Yeah. That fucking. Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. Very nice. Yeah. So I'm sold on the show. I'll tell you that right now. Let's fucking do it. I mean, like, as long as it doesn't, like, because I was gonna ask you, is this show gonna like fuck me up the same way the Fallout fucked me up? Because I cried really hard in that fucking movie. But no, I'm here for this.
Isn't it good though? The Fallout's worth it though. I feel like I should do a quick elevator pitch for the Fallout.
I already had you. I already took care of you. I pitched that shit a couple weeks ago. God damn, that movie is fucking good. That
movie's really good.
But instead, today I'm actually going to pitch everybody based on my gameplay stream last night of Horizon Forbidden West. I finally got to play it. It is brand new, just came out technically yesterday, non-technically Thursday night. But I finally got to play this wonderful, extravagant game. And the cool part, firstly, is that I just to let everybody know, if you did not know for whatever reason, I had just beaten Horizon Zero Dawn, and going into this, coming off right on the coast of Horizon Zero Dawn, my experience there felt so fucking good because this game is Horizon Zero Dawn, but better. Like, they made it look better. They made it feel better. They put better things in it. I've only played this for 2 hours, and honestly, I love this even more than Horizon Zero Dawn. Forbidden West, and I tweeted this out, guys, Horizon Forbidden West is the prettiest game I think I've ever seen. Like we are at a point now in video games where it feels like we're playing movies, and that is where I want to be. That's where I want to be at, okay? Because this game looks magnificent. The lighting is insane. The fur textures, insane. They actually look like they're wearing leather and not just some weird blocky thing that's on their arm. Her hair flows beautifully. Particle effect. Are you fucking kidding me? I have not been able to get over how good this game looks. Because, like, even now playing this trailer, it looks like we're watching a trailer for, like, a high-end, like, CG movie, right? Like high-end CG production, and that is so telling for my experience on this game. Obviously, playing this on my PS5 because I wanted to get the best experience out of it possible. If there's any game that can show what the PS5 can make a game fucking look like, it is this one. I cannot recommend enough that people get a chance to play this game and just look at the marvel that this is, because I haven't felt this way since playing The Last of Us Part 2, because honestly, that was the last game that I was like, this has to be the prettiest game I've ever fucking seen in my life. And Devin can attest for this. Even playing it on a PS4 Pro, The Last of Us 2 looks fucking good.
Mm-hmm. It looks very, very, very
good, dog. And go on.
I want to play this game really bad, but I don't have a PS5, and I probably won't have one for a while. So I'm debating: do I get it for PS4, play it on PS4 Pro, or do I wait till they come out with the inevitable PC version of it, like they did with Horizon Zero Dawn?
I just give it a little bit of a wait and play that shit on PC, baby, because you're gonna have even more of an elevated experience than I'm even having, just minus the DualSense controller. You know what I mean? It's like
I actually can buy a PS5 controller and sync it to the PC to get haptic feedback for games. I could do that
if it has the update for it, because sometimes what I've been noticing is that the updates for DualSense capability on PC games is kind of a slow rollout right now.
Yeah.
It's not just, not all the PS5 games coming out have been having it right away, I guess is my point.
Yeah.
So be wary.
I know that like Deathloop and God of War have haptic feedback with PC. Just I think it's more centralized around like the Sony games themselves.
Sure, and that would definitely make sense. Yeah, I mean, because the haptic feedback I was talking about while we were streaming it last night, but the haptic feedback in this has been not even just in this, but just like with my experience with like Ratchet and Clank, like any game that's like more focused on being a PS5 title, like next gen title. The DualSense controller has been impressing me more and more every single game that I come by, because it's just getting more and more versatile and more immersive in like what you're playing and how you're experiencing that experience. And in this, it's like cool because I'm finally getting to like feel like what a bow and arrow, what they're wanting a bow and arrow to feel like on a PS5 game. And it's cool because like you hold the left trigger and she pulls out the bow, and then you hold the right trigger, she pulls the bow back, and you feel the resistance in the right trigger as she's pulling back. And it's not just a clean, like, resistance. It's vibrating as you're pulling back to make it feel like you're knocking in. And then it was cool when I realized that when you let go, she lets go of the string and the arrow shoots, you feel a vibration and a click in both triggers as if the actual release is happening in your hand. And it just the little tiny things in this game is what's making it so gold to me. I cannot recommend this enough to people. I really cannot. Yeah, and guys, please let me know too if you end up picking up this game so we can nerd out about it, because I know a few people that are like super excited to play so that we can talk about. I know Cardboard King in chat right now is gonna be chatting it up with us, baby. Let's go, dog. Devin, can you tell the people at home what the fuck are we doing next, baby?
We dropping the guillotine at
Gallows. Oh, fuck. Okay, guys, for the Gallows today, we are talking our review of Uncharted. This will be 100% spoiler free. We are getting better at this. You guys do not have to worry about that shit anymore, okay? We're just going to commit to being spoiler-free reviews, all right? Until we get to post-show, then we might talk about some stuff in spoiler territory. But we'll see how we go from here. Anyways, if we have time. Uncharted review. We saw this last night. We got to experience it. We've got some thoughts for you. But before we get into thoughts, let me give you some information about Uncharted. Uncharted, the video game to movie adaptation, released February 18th, 2022, directed by Ruben Fleischer. Jenesy, do you know what Ruben Fleischer has also directed?
No.
He has also directed the seminal movie Zombieland and Zombieland 2 and Venom and Venom Let There Be Carnage.
So,
yeah,
he was doing really well until Venom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he hits the mark about 50% of the time, as it states.
You know what? Sure. Now, granted, this movie is only one of two others that he both directed and was the executive producer for. So he actually got to pick who he wanted casted and how he wanted everything to be like loaded in for and stuff. So he got a little bit more free reign in this, and it kind of shows. Thankfully, Venom was not one of the ones that he did both for, so he gets a half credit. Some fun facts for you guys here. In the early stages of production, Mark Wahlberg, Robert De Niro, and Joe Pesci were all slated to be in the movie, with David O. Russell directing the film. Since then, all three and the director dropped out of the project. Wahlberg would later be cast as Sully. Did not put this in the fun fact, but actually that they were noting that because Mark Wahlberg was actually originally supposed to be Nathan Drake, with Robert De Niro playing as Sully instead, which is wild to me.
Robert De Niro would have been a better Sully.
Yeah.
We're going to get into the review talk in a second, okay? Naughty Dog approached Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg several times to write the screenplay. They declined, saying it would, quote, be just another Indiana Jones movie.
They weren't wrong.
God damn it, Devin. Stop giving reviews. Nathan Drake, voice actor Nolan North, revealed in an interview with Trisha Hirschberger that he doesn't feel the movie should be a direct adaptation anyway, and even thought of Chris Pine, who he worked with on Star Trek Into Darkness 2013 as Drake.
Would have been much better.
I think that would have been rad.
Yeah, Chris Pine's great.
Chris Pine's very good, especially quick, Star Trek.
Quick note. He's doing another Star Trek movie, and I'm actually stoked about it.
I'm real stoked.
And I don't care about Star Trek, but I like him. in Star Trek.
Dude, I mean,
You know
the
what I mean?
Star Trek, the most recent Star Trek like
Oh, yeah.
franchise has actually been really good, dude.
Yeah, the movies are
Yeah,
great,
fucking
but like
good,
I'm
dude.
no Trekkie by any
Yeah,
means.
no,
like
no, not
that
the
that's
other,
where I
not the
fall in
other.
line. But anyways, continue.
The last Star Trek show I ever really got into, I think, was the one where Charles Xavier was the fucking captain. Which one was it?
Picard.
Star Trek.
Picard. There's literally a Star Trek Picard series right now.
I know there is, but what was it? Was it chat? Correct me over here. Was it Star Trek Voyage?
I
think it's
don't
Voyages?
fucking know.
Something like that? Anyways,
I don't watch Star Trek.
Devin's deadpan comments got me dying over here. I fucking hate it. Next up, Nathan Fillion has shown interest in the role, stating, quote, "I think every actor I know desires to have an action hero role. They're Indiana Jones. I think this would be a good one for me," end quote. Fillion later played Nathan Drake in the short film Uncharted live-action fan film 2018, for which gained very positive feedback from fans of the games. However, that film was never authorized nor endorsed by Naughty Dog or Sony, which is very disappointing because that's the Uncharted we should have got.
Yep.
Is Nathan
And
Fillion fucking rocks.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion, perfect.
He fucking rocks.
I do love Nathan Fillion.
Oh god, he's
really
so
good
perfect.
man. I love him.
Lastly, we have Tom Holland told GQ that he never realized how lucky he is that Spider-Man wears a mask, because when he's bouncing around and flying from buildings, that's all CG, and in the film, it's just him in a Henley and cargo pants. Apparently, he got his ass whooped filming this movie, which is fucking tight. Good for him, dude. Good for him. You know what I'm saying? We need to beat up Tom Holland more often, you know? Devin! What are your top-level thoughts on Uncharted?
I will say this right at the beginning. If you have played the Uncharted games and you know the characters, this movie probably will disappoint you. If you have not played the games or know the characters, this movie you will enjoy. I just want to state that right now.
Okay.
It is a fun movie. Don't get me wrong. It is a fun movie. It's got fun parts to it. But dude, it was really, really hard for me to get past the casting. Like, really hard. And don't get me wrong. I like Tom Holland. I do. Tom Holland, to me, just isn't a Nathan Drake. And I think I remember saying that to you after the movie. It's like, I still couldn't get past it. It kind of bothered me the whole movie. Not like to a level it was like, oh, this is terrible. But it just like, I'm like, him as Nathan. Okay, sure. You know,
sure.
Like, sure. You know, Mark Wahlberg is solely, no, didn't like it. Like, that's like my biggest caveat to this movie. The production, though, fantastic.
Surprisingly good, right?
Yeah, very, very good. And I'm here for that, and I recognize it. I could see the chemistry between Tom, though, and Mark. Like, I can see that they do have chemistry as actors and outside of movies.
Yeah.
But
I'll talk on that in a minute.
But
yeah.
Again, they just weren't right for these roles, in my opinion. That's just me. It's a fun movie. It looks great. It goes to some really cool places, has some cool set pieces. It definitely has your generic ass like bad guy tropes with what a twist moment. You know what I mean? It's very tropey. They tried to play it really safe with this movie and try and be very fan servicey in a sense. But that the type of fan service they did, I feel like just pissed off people who really like the video games, you know?
Sure.
Like, it's like, oh, they're doing that one part from the game. But doesn't just context doesn't make sense, not the storyline, you know, shit like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a mid-ass movie to me. Just a mid-ass movie. And I'm having a really hard time rating it.
Because we'll get into ratings later, so we can kind of sell each other a little bit on some stuff. So,
but I forgot the actress who played Chloe though, because I thought she did a phenomenal job.
I liked her
in portraying the character. Let's see.
Got you. It was Sophia Taylor Ali.
Yeah, she did great. She did great in like she definitely acted just like the character and had like accent everything, really pulled it off, I thought. Um kind of almost stole the show for parts of the movie that she was in. There was definitely some jokes in the movie too. And I don't know if it was on purpose or not, because like things would happen and Tom Holland's Nathan Drake would just be like, "Hey, did you see that?" Like constantly, to the point where Ernell and I were looking at each other after every time something like eventful happened in the movie, and we would just be like, "Did you see that?"
It was funny because he would say, "Did you see that?" when it was obviously right in front of the person. Like they could not have missed that if it was like any closer to their face, right? Like it, and it was, every time he was like, "Did you see that?" I was like, "Stop, dog." So like for the rest of the movie, anytime something crazy or bombacious happened, me and Devin would be over snickering like, "Did you see that?" Like it was so fucking funny. Anyways, continue.
But the other thing though, I wanted to say is there was like a little bit of controversial things kind of said about Uncharted back in the days, like when it comes to like critics and reviewers in the video game space, is like how like you as Nathan Drake are killing a lot of people in the games, like a lot of people, for an adventure, tomb raiding type of game.
Yeah.
And I noticed in this movie, Tom Holland only used a gun like once, and he didn't even shoot anyone.
Yeah.
He didn't shoot a single person as Nathan Drake. So I kind of saw that as a little bit of a contrast between the movie and the video games.
I wonder about that also not having any reference to the video game. I actually wonder, because you guys did say this is a prequel to the games, right?
Well,
I wonder if that's a thing.
No, it is.
That
It
they're
100% is.
build
It's an
up.
origin story. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder if that's like was intentional, and that especially because they're already wanting to make a fucking second one for some reason. And so I wonder if in the second one we're gonna see him become more of like what's actually in the video game. And so
it's
they already use scenes from the video game though in this movie. You know what I mean? So, and I don't think it exists in the same canon.
Okay.
That's why Devin is able to say like it kind of is a prequel, because like it is a prequel story, but they're using scenes and moments from Uncharted 1 and Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3. And so like they kind of mushed some things together. So it's supposed to be a prequel story, but they're using story beats from the whole game's franchise. And that's why it's kind of weird. It is an origin story. It really, really is. But like there's some weirdness there. But anyways, Devin, continue in the final thoughts you have.
But yeah, like I said, me as a gamer who's played the games, I haven't beaten 3, but I've played 1, 2, and a lot of 3, and now I have 4 at my disposal too. So I do plan on restarting 3 and then resuming from there. But just me as a gamer, the movie was enjoyable, but it was a mid-ass movie. Just a mid-ass movie.
Sure. Okay, and also just to let people at home know too, Devin has played a good chunk of this franchise. Jenesy has not played any of this because Genesy's not quite a gamer bitch yet. We're getting you there.
LOL. You keep saying yet, and I love you for it.
We'll get you there, baby. I've only played not even half of the Uncharted franchise, so I'm sort of like in between the two of you, and it's gonna be sort of interesting to see this contrast. So, Jenesy,
yes,
what are your top level thoughts of Uncharted?
I have lots. So I actually, like, being the person who does not have any context to the video game, I also feel like it was a pretty mid-level movie. Not in a bad way, but I mean, every movie isn't gonna be a Spider-Man No Way Home, you know?
Yeah, sure.
So that's okay. That's fine. I love Tom Holland. I really do. I do not know what Nate Drake was supposed to be, so I didn't have that kind of like bias coming in of that. I did feel though watching this, it felt like a very like campy Tom Holland role. Not that that's all he can play, because we've seen him in The Devil All the Time, we've seen him in Cherry. He can do other things, but it felt very Spider-Man adjacent. It felt like a very playful action character, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it didn't fit the vibes of the movie, because this movie did feel a lot like A National Treasure meets Indiana Jones, and this fun playful dude didn't really fit into the environment that he was in. I also kind of enjoyed that juxtaposition of all of the super jaded people around him and him just out here having a good time, making drinks, drinking alcohol, like just here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah.
And so that was something that, like, there were a lot of things for me in terms of the characters and how they interacted with each other. Honestly, Sully didn't need to be a character, in my opinion. He didn't. Not only did he not need to be played by the actor who played him, but he did not need to be present. His character did not add really anything to the story for me. Sure, he's the one who like brings Nate Drake in. Oh,
okay,
is that a spoiler?
No, you're good.
I didn't think that was a spoiler.
I thought you were gonna say something about something else. No, sorry,
no,
I jumped the gun.
Yeah,
My mistake.
Yeah. So he's like, and we know that from the trailers that he's supposed to be the guy who's like, oh, look, this fun exploratory thing, but it's like, anybody could have fucking done that. Anybody could have told Nate Drake that we're going to go on this fun adventure, and it did not need to be Sully. Sully was a very boring character for me. I also I thought going into this, that the way that they were going to take like the production of the movie was going to be like an action movie based on a video game, but it very much felt like a video game movie. Like, watching it as a person who just watches movies, it did not feel like a true action movie. The way that they moved, the way things were set up, it felt like watching something very similar to a video game rather than like watching a true action movie, which isn't a bad thing. But I think it's really interesting, like, seeing Devin's like critique of it being like, this wasn't true to the video game, and it didn't really feel like I was watching. We were talking before this, and he was like, I didn't feel like I was watching a video game movie, whereas I totally felt like I was watching a video game movie and I was not watching an action movie. So I don't know, but with that, we talk a lot about like the suspension of disbelief, right? Which is very important for action movies, very important for sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just suspend your disbelief in this movie. You cannot believe anything in this movie. You cannot believe in physics. You cannot believe in character arcs. You cannot believe in healthy emotions or healthy process. You can't believe in shit. Like, specifically physics. You cannot believe in physics. Like, you can't. I was like frustrated watching this movie, being like, that doesn't, like, it doesn't even physically make sense suspending my disbelief. It doesn't make sense in any action movie scenario ever. Where is gravity? Like, anyway.
Yeah. And like, especially during, an airplane scene on the gravity part. And then also, like,
and that was in the fucking trailer, and it's worse than it is in the fucking trailer in the actual movie.
Yeah. And the other part too is like, I'm not going to describe it exactly, but like the helicopters, like, we know it's going to take at least 3 of those things to carry that. Like, come on. It's, you know.
And that wasn't that, like, just like the world that they're living in is like not real. It's not anywhere near the real world. It's like the rules of their society don't make sense to me. Like, we entered this like weird alternate reality that is supposed to be the same reality, but like, there are no rules here, and I just don't understand how we got here. Like, that's what we were in a video game. For me, like, we were in a video game that doesn't like follow the same rules. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, they tried, but they failed.
I would agree because I was in a video game and you were not, and
I feel like Ernell has this fire like kind of creeping up behind him. Like, I feel like he's gonna try and shut us down right now about this movie. I can just see this like shit-eating grin he has, and he's just gonna be like, "You guys have a bad take."
Ernell's gonna come out and be
No.
I'd be like, Ambulance and Uncharted 2022.
This motherfucker.
I'm really excited for Ambulance. I'm really excited for Ambulance. Oh no, I'm laughing because it's just funny to me for us to talk about like suspending disbelief and like how nothing in this movie was like relatable or like felt real at all, and we're massive Marvel fans. But sure, I get where you're coming from.
It's just the difference of like realities that they are portraying, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, and that's where I struggle because this is supposed to be in the real world, you know, and it's supposed to be like, and we've talked about that a lot in Marvel too, and then we talked about this around like Hawkeye's show, because Hawkeye's show is very different from other Marvel shows because he's just out here with a bow and arrow. Like he and Kate Bishop are just normal everyday fucking people.
Devin's laughing for other reasons.
Roasting you here in the chat. Is he laughing at the chat? That's what I'm laughing at too. Fucking roasting you, dude.
Cooking me over here. Y'all are fucking killing me, dude. God.
No lube out here is what's happening.
Anyways, any final thoughts, Jenesy?
I don't know. I'm confused. I guess.
Was it good or bad?
It was middle. For me, it was truly middle.
Mid-ass movie.
Okay. It was middle, and that's fine. And I don't feel like worse off for having watched it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like I lost something for sitting there in the movie theater with you guys for 2 hours laughing my ass off while Ernell is out here thinking shit's gay when they're brothers. You know, like, it was a good time.
I didn't know they were brothers at first, and then they confirmed. I was like, damn it.
I did not know they were brothers.
Ernell just leans over and he goes, as they're like having their moment, Ernell leans over and he just goes,
moment. A very intensely brotherly moment.
Gay.
No, I did not say gay. I said gay.
Did.
I said
you
gay.
There's no question.
There is a question. Because listen. I got the vibe of two orphanage best friends. I did not get brothers vibe off those two because they first off did not look anything like brothers. Firstly,
they said they were brothers from the start.
I didn't hear it. I'm fucking deaf as shit, dog. You guys have to remember that.
They were talking about their parents.
Listen. You guys need to be more understanding here that when I go and see a movie in theaters with you guys, you have to be just under the assumption that I missed a third of the movie.
That's
because I can't hear all of it, and I'm not going to use the subtitle glasses bullshit. So like, so bear with me here. I thought they weren't related.
Totally fair. It was
so when Jenesy was
funnier because he leans over to me and he goes, gay, and I was like, dude, they're fucking brothers. That's not okay.
And she said it, and I was like, are they? And she's like, yes. And then they said it like a minute later, and I was like, fuck.
We were just dying laughing for like the rest of that scene. So I can hear just fine, and I didn't hear shit until they cut to him being a man, because we were dying laughing. So it was a great time. I think it's a great thing to watch with friends. It's a great thing to watch for like a fun, bros night out. We had a good bros night out. You know what I mean?
It was fun.
But
I wish I had a few beers before I watched the movie. I probably would like it more.
Yeah, maybe you should trip.
Actually, I did. 3 gin and tonics.
I fucking can't. Yeah, like have an edible like on your way in. Like chill out.
I did that for Jackass.
How was that?
It's great.
He liked it. He loved it. Apparently Garrett did too. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, but I'm excited.
Lots of wiener.
Lots of wiener. Let's go.
Let's go. Actual dick?
Yeah, it's Jackass.
The more I fucking hear about this Jackass thing, the less I'm into it. I was already uninterested, and now I'm negative 100 interested.
That movie was 100% made for people who grew up watching Jackass.
I know.
Yeah. But we're not talking about Jackass today, guys. We're talking more Uncharted.
Uncharted.
That's how forgettable the Uncharted movie is. I think about other movies I've seen already.
Devin's so fucking overcritical of movies. Drives me insane. I don't understand camp, so Army of Dead is bad.
Marvel.
I don't understand campy movies, so that movie's bad.
No, I understand them. I don't like it. I understand it. I just don't like it.
Oh.
Well, I like it for the right reasons, but not in fucking Army of the Dead.
Name one camp movie that you like.
One camp movie that I like. Jay and Silent Bob.
That's not camp.
I don't know what that is.
Camp is like Evil Dead, where it's supposed to be one thing, but they actually have like a subtle like comedy underneath.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I like Evil Dead.
There are also like different forms of camp, like Dollface, great example of camp.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I like stuff like that. It's just evil. I mean, Army of the Dead just had really bad writing, honestly.
I hate it here. I also hate it here for more reasons, because it's funny we're talking about this contrast here. This movie was fine. It was fine.
It's mid.
Yeah, I think this movie was as we were joking about before. This was a very good, okay movie. And that's okay. I'm definitely on the higher scale of enjoying it more than you guys did, I feel like. I like for me, I had to enter into this movie just we fucking knew it wasn't going to be a good ode to the Uncharted games, right? Like we had to have fucking known that. And because of such, I just forced myself to go into it and separate the two and just be like, all right, like I have to pretend that Uncharted doesn't exist while watching this. Right? Like that's kind of like where I'm coming into this. So going into the movie, I'm like, I'm excited to see what they do. I'm excited to just look at this as just a movie and just critique it based on its quality as a movie as a whole. So I'm going to be coming into this off of that. This movie is a very good, okay movie.
I wouldn't say very good personally.
Well, listen, that's the entire fucking point of this conversation, isn't it? We're not talking about you personally right now. Okay, we got your point. You fucking hated it.
I didn't hate it. It was just meh.
My dads have been fighting all week, and I can't handle this.
I'm blocking you on Facebook next. Anyways,
it's because Ernell gaslights everybody in GK but you, Jenesy.
I'm stopping. God damn
Put
it.
your mom in jail.
I'm stopping. All right, listen, I got the point. All right, you guys are a bunch of fucking
He can't
crybabies.
gaslight me though, because then it'd be sexist. You know?
No, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. Let's be real. He doesn't care. He's
I
after
wouldn't
everybody right
gaslight Jenesy because Jenesy hasn't done anything to me to make me want to gaslight Jenesy. You know what I'm saying?
No, you just do it because
put your mom in jail.
Devin's over here like, I didn't like the movie, and then I'm talking about if I like the fucking movie. I get you don't like the fucking movie, all right?
I'm just stating my factual opinion.
Listen, this movie. Listen, I'm fine with this fucking movie. I'm fine with it. This we were talking about it a little bit off stream. I think this movie comes off as a movie. I'm going to ignore the fact entirely that this is based off of the fucking Uncharted games, okay? That's where I'm going into this. This movie comes off as a very not quite as intelligent National Treasure. And I think they did that very, very much on purpose. Like they were trying to have a modern day, what can our young generation look at and say that's going to be my National Treasure in 10 years, right? That's what they were trying to craft here. It came off as this weird combined fusion of National Treasure and Indiana Jones and like the Italian Job, and like in this weird like
TikTok.
Yeah, it's got a lot of like really small
Something
things
young
that
people
sort of like
watch.
Yeah, so a lot of really small things that it sort of mashes together to create what it ended up creating, and like what it ended up creating in the final product was just like okay, like I like it more than the new Matrix movie. I like it more than like a bunch of like movies that I've just been like, you know, like that doesn't really interest me. This actually was fun. I was not bored a single moment of watching this movie. I wasn't. There's some parts that like could have been like better written, maybe like dialogue wise, and I think a lot of that falls into them trying to basically just like cast Mark Wahlberg, because Mark Wahlberg and Sully's personalities aren't completely far off. The issues that they basically were just like, hey, to portray Sully, we'll just have Mark Wahlberg be Mark Wahlberg for 2 hours. And like, cool, sure, but like, and now granted too, with that said, Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland actually had very good chemistry together. The problem that
oh my god, I haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah, they
I mentioned it earlier.
You did. Yeah, you alluded to it.
Yeah, they actually had good chemistry together. I feel like they worked well together. I think the biggest issue is because of our background with those characters, and because like some of the dialogue just didn't feel right. Hey, what's happening, Griff baby? We're talking Uncharted. It's good to have you here. We're talking Uncharted. We saw it last night. We're talking about it now. the because of a lot of the dialogue issues with how the characters interact, a lot of it felt corny, a lot of it felt campy, a lot of it felt like it was very dry humor, a lot of it felt like there were some moments that were broken, but those two specifically worked really well together, which brings me to my final point here. I don't necessarily think that if you've played the games you won't like this, and if you haven't played the games you will like this. If you go into this movie recognizing that this movie is actually a family movie, then you're going to have a better time. I don't think they were intending for this movie to be a game adaptation that could like have an ode to the games, but this was a kid's movie. This was a family movie. Like, it was supposed to just be another national treasure. That's why nobody fucking gets murdered in this fucking movie. Like, people like die, but they don't like get shot in cold fucking blood. Like,
yeah, but someone had their throat sliced.
Only by the bad guy, though. That's the thing.
And it looked like a little cat scratched.
They super villainized the bad guys. It totally did.
But if you remember, though, when it happens, it flashes, so it looks away when it happens. Yeah. So it's like,
it showed his body, the aftermath, like a couple times.
Yeah.
And it looked like a little cat scratch. Now like, I just want to add on to like what you're saying about it supposing to be a family movie. Mm-hmm. Sonic is the same thing. It's not the exact same as the video games. It's meant to be a kids movie, family movie, but it's actually a good movie.
Okay, so anyway, the chemistry between Tom Holland and what's his face, the man whose name I can never remember. There was an interview on their press junket that lives in my head rent free now, and I love it so much. So Tom Holland shared this story of how what's the man's name? Mark
Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg. I keep wanting to call him Mark Ruffalo, and that is disrespect to Mark Ruffalo. So Mark Wahlberg was driving Tom Holland home after filming one day, and apparently Mark Wahlberg has a line of back massagers, and he had given one to Tom Holland as a gift because they're doing really intense scenes and they're sore every day after filming, and so Mark Wahlberg gave Tom Holland this muscle massager. Oh no, does he have one? Oh no.
They're these. That's what.
He has one.
You didn't have to grab. You just said I have one of those. Like,
so yeah. Is that Mark Wahlberg's muscle
very
massager,
unnecessary.
Oh my god. Okay. So Tom Holland is being driven home with the back massager in the back.
Does Devin be like, in case you wanted to know what Mark Wahlberg used on Tom Holland, let me grab this for you to give you an example.
What? I mean, it's...
I love this. Okay.
It's an electronic device.
Did you know that Tom Holland probably has a keyboard and he can use keyboard cleaner on it? He also wears shoes. You can grab a shoe.
What? This is just relevant to the conversation.
I hate this place. Continue.
All right. So, fucking Tom Holland is sharing this story, and he shares in an interview that while Mark Wahlberg is driving him home, he thinks that the back massager he gave him is like a sex toy, and that Mark Wahlberg is taking him home to have sex with him. And my favorite part of this whole interaction is Mark Wahlberg is mortified, and Tom Holland is like all proud of himself and goes, and I'm just thinking, it's Hollywood, baby, whatever. So Tom Holland is like in interview sharing this information that he was totally down to go to Mark Wahlberg's house to be fucked.
Listen,
Mark Wahlberg, and Mark Wahlberg is just sitting there being like, it was a muscle massager for your sore muscles.
I think he was being facetious about that. Cause like,
I don't give a fuck.
I think he was teasing Mark.
Yeah. It reads to me as like the same thing that I would say to Devin, where it's like, You
Well, yeah.
You want to come inside for a minute? You know what I'm saying?
No, but I love the confidence of Tom Holland and like the energy. The fact that he's dating Zendaya. They're buying a fucking house in London together, and he's out here being like, "Yeah, I'd fuck Mark Wahlberg. I really thought I was going to, and it's fine."
Do we blame him?
Do I think that he like 110% was like DTF? Mark Wahlberg? I don't know, and I don't care. I don't care because the story is hilarious. And if you have not watched that fucking interview, you have to watch that fucking interview. It'll change your life.
I mean, that's just like a testament to like me saying like they had good chemistry with each other. Like I thought this entire movie like they did really well, and if it was like any other movie, like I don't think we would be like picking it apart in the same way. I legitimately think that the only reason that like this movie is really getting any sort of heat is because it's just a bad Uncharted movie. It's a good movie. It's a fun movie. It's a bad Uncharted movie.
It's like, fun, but I wouldn't say it's good.
I would say it's fine. I mean, for me, it lies very squarely in the one fuck to give category on my rating scale that I view movies on. Like, there's like, I absolutely hate it. It's fun. I love it is basically the scale, and it's a solid one fuck to give. Like, I would recommend it under the right circumstances. It was not bad at all.
I think for me, like this sort of came off as like this movie wouldn't be getting the heat that it did if it had Disney on the name. Because it's a Disney movie.
I would still do
this is a Disney.
If it was this movie and it said Disney on it, I would actually like it less. If it said Disney on it and it was the exact same movie we got, I would like it less.
Sure,
because it is
but I mean,
Disney
like,
quality.
I don't like. There's Disney movies I don't like. Like the new Aladdin, it wasn't that good.
I love that.
Sure, and I don't mean it that way. I mean in the fact that if it was blatantly obvious that this wasn't intended just for adults as a high action movie, because that's not what it's intending to be. It's like I watched the entire movie and it was fun because it felt like I was just watching National Treasure again, which mind you, National Treasure was a Disney movie. So it's like there's a big like blurred line here that I think is getting like it's going to crush this fucking movie ratings wise because people are looking at it as a like video game to movie adaptation of Resident Evil, of Assassin's Creed, and they're expecting to go into it expecting something that's super high action and super just like fucked up, and yeah, we're gonna go into this and we're gonna watch Nathan Drake fucking kill some people trying to collect things. And like
I don't think it's that at all. I didn't go into it thinking like that's going to be the case at all. I just thought the story beats were kind of meh. I thought the acting was kind of meh. I thought the casting was kind of meh. That had fun moments. It had good production. It had cool set pieces, but a lot of the movie was really meh.
It's wild because I almost
meh.
It's wild because I thought that I said critics, not Devin. I'm speaking generally speaking. Like I feel like this movie is going to get torn apart for reasons that I don't feel like it actually deserves. This movie I feel like this movie was more fun than a lot of people are going to give it credit for, and that bums me out. Like I don't think this movie was dog shit. Matrix fucking Reborn, whatever the fuck they called it, was dog shit. Like that was on the low okay scale to me. Like I would have watched this before I would have watched, I don't know, fucking half the movies that came out last year. You know what I mean? Like this, I just don't think this movie is as bad as a lot of people are going to make it out to be. And that breaks my heart because like, I think that there was something here that is only like getting it shit on because it's like an Uncharted movie. And like because of such, people are like not going to be able to look at it from a decent eye like Devin did. Where he says like, yeah, like the dialogue just felt like meh to me. And like there's gonna be, and Devin, you know this because gamers are fucking toxic as shit, right? Like people are going to look at this like this was a dog shit Uncharted movie. And you're right, they're right. It was a not very good Uncharted movie.
But it was a good movie.
Can I be honest?
It was a fine movie.
Can I be honest with you guys?
Yeah.
I think I might have liked Matrix more than this movie.
That's well, you know,
this movie was more fun than the Matrix, but I think I liked the continuity and the story beats in Matrix more than I liked it in Uncharted.
Sure, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, like it's just I don't know. I really did not like the Matrix very much. I just really did not like it. And like I know, like I'm not gonna sit here and fucking like compare the two because they're not comparable as movies. But as far as movies that are on the okay spectrum, like I feel like this movie had more quality than we can even really give it credit for. It's like the concept of like having to suspend our disbelief, right? Like, why how dare we say that this movie is bad because we had to suspend our disbelief the entire time as if we didn't rate the Mortal Kombat movie high. Like there's just like, and I get that there's a sense of like we're entering a world that is supposed to feel like IRL, but like to me it just doesn't like we are granting this movie a Hollywood as critics ourselves a disservice by saying that like little things like that like
I would
have
like
to matter
to clarify
more.
because I was the one who brought up the disbelief thing, and I don't think it was a bad movie, and I don't
Sure.
think it was bad because of that. It's just like a fact, like physics doesn't exist in this movie,
Which is
And
fair.
I'm
which is
not-
fair.
It's fun. It's a fun movie.
And that's what I've said. The movie is fun. The things I don't like about it aren't about the fun stuff or the physics stuff. It's actually the characters themselves.
Sure.
You know, and the way that the story beat goes.
I
That's
thought
the
outside
stuff.
of Sully and the villains, the characters were fine.
Sure.
So,
And like
like
I want to clarify, Devin, because it feels like you think that I'm taking a personal shot at you because I'm not.
No.
Like-
It's not. I'm just clarifying like my feelings on it, and and I just wanted to say you mentioned Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat was more true to the games than the Uncharted movie was.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like that when it comes to Mortal Kombat, when it comes to I think that there's a habit that us gamers fall into when we're having these expectations for these video game movies that like we're not willing to separate those two, and we need to. Because it's like we do the same for books. Like we have some there's this weird gray area where when it comes to book to movie adaptations, we say, okay, was that enough information that they took from the book and put it in this movie? Yes, then it was fine. You know what I'm saying? Like we did the exact same thing for 7 Harry Potter movies. We did the exact same thing for Maze Runner, Percy Jackson, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit. I can go fucking on. Like we have this gray space area there for us to give it some cushion space. But when it comes to video game to movie adaptations, I don't feel like we give it enough credit. Like we have this high expectation of like, if it's not the same way, the same experience I had playing the video game, it was not good. And that
Actually, Ernell,
crushes me.
When you were saying that, I was thinking the same thing about books, is that the experience I have watching movies, because I widely watch movies before I read the books because it takes forever for me to read fucking books.
Sure.
I feel like it's the same thing that you're describing with video game to movie adaptations, is that people get so committed to like the idea of how it was in the original media, and I think that can be fine if you just want a recreation of the original media, but then what's the point? Like, and I feel the same way when Devin's talk, and like I say Devin because I know there's a larger conversation online of like the casting for Nate Drake, but I wasn't a part of that. All I know is Devin and Ernell. So here we are. But like you guys talk, and both of you have talked about like the casting for Nate Drake. For me, like I wasn't a part of the original media, so it doesn't really matter. And like I do ask the question, like I think about fucking Bridgerton. The entire books in Bridgerton were all white people. They were all white people, and when they started casting, except I think maybe the love interest in this season might actually be not white in the books, because I think that she might actually be from India, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Sure.
But anywho, like that's a thing. Like when they cast the Duke as Regé, whatever his name is, are people gonna get super upset because he wasn't like white boy number 5 that he was in the books?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they might, but I don't think that's a bad call. I think that he's a very attractive fucking Duke. Why the hell not? So I think there's a question for me of like, when we're making a new form of media, like transferring it from the video games or from a book to the big screen is an adaptation, and we have a chance to do something a bit different. What's wrong with that?
Right.
And now when I'm talking about like the casting for the character And the fact that they brought up Chris Pine would have been very good in this role because he kind of portrays that kind of Nathan Drake attitude as in Star Trek, right?
Yeah.
Like he's
Yeah.
cocky and everything.
Oh,
Now I just want Nathan Drake is supposed to be 6 foot,
pretty.
and he is 38 years old in the events of A Thief's End, which is the first game of the Uncharted series.
Yeah.
Tom Holland is 5'7", and they pretty much have him portraying like a 25-year-old kid.
He's 5'6.5". But...
Okay, same thing. Chris Pine is 41 years old right now, and probably would have been 38 at the start of filming this movie, and is also 6 foot.
Okay, there's that. But also, I really liked having a short action guy. I think that's fun.
But this is supposed to be a prequel. This is supposed to be young.
Chris Pine
Nathan
looks
Drake,
like he's
though.
fucking 28.
Is he gonna grow 4 inches by the next movie?
It's supposed to be that.
That's
though.
my biggest thing.
I like it.
That's something for me in continuity of it being a prequel or it's standalone canon, and it's not a prequel because they already said it exists outside of the movies and it's its own standalone canon.
Sure.
Tom Holland is not going to grow. Tom Holland is not going to get bigger at
and
all.
I think that's okay. I'm all about Tom Holland out here being like an action man because he's not because he is short, and that's like the running joke in Hollywood is that he is short, and he had to get
about it in the movie.
Yeah, and he had to get. I like it. I like that that element of the casting personally. I love a good action dude that is short and kind of challenging what it means to be an action man. Why does Nate Drake have to be 6 feet? Why can't
that's what he is in the books and the game.
Why?
So?
But why? So what? That's my point. That's the point I was making. Is why? Why do we have to have that? Fucking Bilbo Baggins was maybe half a foot taller in the fucking Hobbit books, but just because he's 6 inches shorter in the Hobbit movie, now it's not good. That's why I was having that conversation. Is I entered this movie trying to separate it from the games because I wanted to experience this movie from in a perspective of what if the game did not exist. Can I critique this fairly just as a movie rather than a video game movie? And that sort of separated things for me and helped me sort of view it in a certain way. And it breaks my heart because this movie's not a bad movie. And even Devin is saying it's not a bad movie. Even Jenesy is saying it's not a bad movie. But there's going to be people who think it's a bad movie because it's not the Uncharted games. And that fucking sucks. That fucking sucks, and I wish it wasn't so.
Some gatekeepy ass shit for a movie.
I mean, there's gatekeepy ass shit around every freaking movie franchise.
Totally.
Anything out there nowadays. It's kind of like something I've just don't even pay attention to anymore. You know what I mean? Because it's so relevant and there all the time. So I just don't even focus on it anymore. So I just don't even think about that stuff because it's it doesn't matter whether something's good or bad. That's around everything. We see it around Star Wars. We see it around Marvel, DC, and just anything, And so I just stopped paying attention to it entirely. So it's a non-issue to me because if people fall for it in the first place, then that's on them because it's everywhere. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's like people feeding into fake news on fucking social media. You know what I mean? It's fucking everywhere.
I get frustrated about it because I know that people are going to see reviews of it and
then not watch it.
And then just not watch it because people are going to be saying, well, that wasn't a good movie because it wasn't Uncharted. And I'm like, well, fucking Uncharted's a fucking video game. I don't know how else to express this to people.
It's just
they're not the same experience.
I hear you say these things a lot around movies. One thing I do want to say though, it's if a franchise is so popular and so important, especially to the Sony PlayStation community, you kind of have to appease that audience, right? Because that is going to be your core audience that is going to see that movie. It really is.
Yeah.
And if you are not appeasing that audience, then you're kind of failing that audience, right? I'm not saying this movie is a fail. It's just that's why I don't think you separate it from the material. You know what I mean? I don't think you have to think about it as something else because it could be completely different than the game itself, but it should still be on that level of enjoyment as the source material.
I think that's a good point.
And that's what we see with the MCU, right? The MCU isn't exactly the source material, right? Mm-hmm. But they still have to make it good like the source material. Am I wrong?
Fair. No, I think that's fair.
So that's fair point. That's just my argument behind that statement specifically.
I think really is like, is there not a sweet spot? Because I feel like we have that. I don't want to drag this any further. Like, but the last thing I will ask is like, I feel like we have a sweet spot for that with Marvel that we don't allow for video game movies, where it's like we're okay with them combining two different characters and just throwing that into the dish. And we're like, fuck yeah, bro. We're just jerking off in the fucking bathroom, like watching these trailers for a character that, you know, fucking like it's been a multitude of times that this happened. We've had characters that are not exactly the same at all in the MCU versus their characters in the comics, but we're like, you know what? Sure, it's fine. Like I'm just wondering where we have to be at to get to a point where we can do that for video game movies. Because it's like almost every time, and I get that video game movies have just been fundamentally not very good since we've been doing them in comparison to things like Marvel. But I still feel like there's a gap there that we're having where like, so like Devin, did you like the Assassin's Creed movie?
It was okay.
It was okay. Sure, yeah, it was okay. I thought it was very okay too. I thought that was fine. The majority consensus say that movie was dog shit.
Yeah. And here's what I want to say is I don't think video game movies have like found that mid ground really yet. I mean, we kind of see it with Sonic. We saw it with The Witcher on Netflix and stuff like that. It's just that mark isn't hit that much. And that's because generally considering is the older generation thinks video games are for kids and they shouldn't have that much budgeting and stuff. But it wasn't up until the last few years that we actually see that kind of budgeting rollout, that care being taken for video game franchises, right? It's the mark isn't always being hit, but it is getting better. It is definitely getting a lot better. And it feels like, you know, production leads and writers and are starting to get more in tune with it. You know, it feels like that. And a lot of that is probably bringing in, you know, sources from developers and publishers and stuff like that to actually like consolidate and on these franchises. Right.
Sure.
But again, I really enjoyed the Sonic movie, you know, really enjoyed the Witcher series. I have really good faith that the Last of Us TV show is going to hit it on the money. I'm optimistic about Halo. I still have to see it before I can be like, yeah, that's good. You know, because there are some things that I'm just like, okay, it looks very sci-fi budget here, but it looks really good here. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I feel like we're still looking for that mark. And I feel like it was easier for Marvel to do it because it was its own like universe, right? Where video games are all over the fucking board.
Yeah.
And they also have a Kevin Feige who is overseeing like everything, you know, kind of similar with Star Wars now, where they have Jon Favreau and oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name. Filoni. Yeah, Dave Filoni overseeing everything over there now, you know. So it's like the video game marketplace really doesn't have that kind of thing right now.
Sure.
Where they can find that sweet spot entirely, because it seems like everybody's still figuring it out.
Sure. Devin, what would you rate this movie?
I really want to give it a 5.5, but for the fun factor, I'm going to give it a 6.
Okay.
I'd give it a 6 also.
Oh, yeah? Okay. I'm giving this a 6.5.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a 6.5. It's fine. I'm almost at a 7, honestly. Like I feel like it's 7 because there's some things about it that I could like go back and forth on. But yeah, I think it's a 6.5.
Yeah. Well, GK consensus 6. 2 out of 3.
6.25.
we don't do those kind of
pulling an IGN. We're not doing
it like a fucking 6.31.
No.
Yeah,
okay?
we're not doing that 1,000-point scale.
You guys too.
I want to eventually get away from the half-point scale too, and just one digit. You know.
Fucking game.
Yeah.
No, what we need is like what each number means. You know what I mean? Because that drives me crazy about the 10-point scale. Is like,
I say
what is a 6?
6 is okay.
What is a 6.5?
I say 6 is okay. 5 is like fine. 7 is good. 8 is great. 9 is awesome. 10 is perfect. There you go.
Is there a difference between okay and fine?
Fine has like more of a negative connotation to it. It's like when somebody asks you how you doing, you're like, I'm doing fine,
Yeah, but what about okay? I'm doing okay.
I'm doing okay.
That's
I feel
like
like okay sounds a little more positive.
and then 4 is a
yeah. 3 is the 2 is like
there's some weird blur.
Like, get the fuck out.
There's some weird blur from 4, 5, and 6, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and look over on Discord fact check here. We have oh wow, it closed Discord. That's fucking annoying. Okay.
There is nothing.
There's nothing. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Devin. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Oh goddamn, why am I ruining things? I'm ruining things. Why is it doing that? Oh my god, I fucking hate everything. I fucking hate everything. Oh, never I fucking hate everything. I almost had a perfect stream. Almost. It always has to fucking be something, dude. Always has to be fucking something. Anyways, our schedule for next week, guys. On Tuesday, we have another good Kraken podcast. We're talking Peacemaker review on Tuesday. That's going to be so much fun. Can't wait to talk about that one. On Wednesday, we have another, finally coming back to our weird schedule this month. We have another Splash Damage episode where Devin will be playing Destiny 2, The Witch Queen, I believe with Xander.
Yeah, I believe we're co-streaming with Xander, and our very good friend Hulk Brogan will be joining us as well that night.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing a fresh run through the new DLC campaign content. We'll probably be playing for about 2 to 3 hours that night. So we'll be playing a nice, good chunk of it. There's a lot of new mechanics, new places, new weapons. I'm looking forward to it.
It'll be lit, baby. It'll be lit. Thursday, we're doing another Shipwreck Show live recording. If you are a part of patreon.com/Kraken Show, you have access to that. You can watch us record Shipwreck Show live over there on Patreon. Thank you, Devin, for the link. On Friday, we have another episode of 7th Brevin, where Devin, our boy here, the 5-star man himself, will be streaming gameplay of Elden Ring.
Yo, so like, I have never been the greatest at Soulsborne games. Like, I can play them, but I can't get prepared for me to be frustrated, guys, because like I'm gonna get sweaty because everything I've come across, and if you haven't noticed by now, when I play games and I come across an enemy, I'm like, I'm gonna go fuck them up every single time. And this game is going to punish me. I guarantee that.
Well, it's funny because last night the chat requested that we do a death counter. So we might have to set that up for Elden Ring. We'll do a death counter for you. We'll just set it where only like mods can do it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I think that'd be perfect. Yeah. We'll figure it out. Next Saturday we have another GK podcast. We're going to be pitching movie ideas to each other. It's gonna be so much fun, dude. It's gonna be so much fun.
I have some already, and what's really cool about it is like because like I think about this kind of stuff every now and then. Some of them I've thought about are already in production or like just happened.
There you go. There you go. Guys at home, please let us know what your thoughts on Uncharted is. If you like video game and movie adaptations, if you have seen Uncharted, please let us know what your thoughts were on it after you have seen it and gotten a chance to get your eyeballs on those juicy man ribs that Tom Holland has in this fucking movie. Anyways, guys, this has been the Good Kraken podcast. Your choice for all the nerdy video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you wanted to hear. Yes, thank you, Cardboard King, for fuck Ted Faro, because it is fuck Ted Faro out here. If you enjoy the show, you can head on over to patreon.com/GoodKrakenShow, Show, where you can submit questions and topics. You get exclusive post-show content, and you get early access to episodes before they go live on podcast and video services across the digital sea. Give it to me, Devin.
Yarg.
You want to do a yarg, Jenesy?
Oh, fuck.
Do a yarg. Give me a yarg.
I don't think I can. I don't
You can't
know.
go.
There you go.
There you go.
I love it.
Terrible. We're not
You
doing
can-
that again.
You can also support us by going to our YouTube channel by clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there. We are not doing a post show because we got real deep on Uncharted. And Devin's got a massager. But until next time, my friends, be good to each other. Stop.